President Trump this hour returning to the White House after a morning at his Virginia golf course. This after igniting a storm of controversy and criticism today with a series of racist tweets against a group of freshman congresswomen. The president telling the progressive women of color in Congress, also known as the Squad, to go back to the crime-infested places they came from. Trump claiming the congresswomen originally came from corrupt countries and should go back for viciously telling the people of the U.S. how our government should be run. All of that being paraphrased there. In fact, 3 of the 4 Democratic representatives were born and raised in the U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was born in Somalia but grew up in Minnesota. Mia Love is a former Republican congresswoman from Utah and a CNN political commentator. Mia, good to see you. As the daughter of Haitian immigrants, but you yourself born in New York, what's your response to the president's tweets? And I mean, do you feel like, you know, him tweeting this kind of criticism to these women is almost like targeting you or me too?
Well, okay, so I think the American people, including me, we're getting so tired of the back and forth. I just want to say that we have to remember what their jobs are. So first of all, the members of Congress, their job is to create law or to legislate and get as many people to come along with them as possible. And the president's job is to execute the laws created by Congress. Yet you have all of these back and forth, these Twitter wars. Let's not forget, I'm not going to excuse anyone's tweets and anyone's comments, but Rep. Omar has done some horrible anti-Semitic tweeting herself. It's got to stop. People are tired of it. I mean, you're sent there to do a job. It's their time. They have to do it. I think everyone is just getting so tired of it.
Okay, so the president really should be taking the high road, right? Any member of Congress should be taking the high road. But I mean, where does this end? Where does this end if it continues to be a tit for tat? But isn't that what it is?
It is a tit for tat. And again, it's tiring. It's absolutely not what the American people want. What most
fatigues you about all this?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What most fatigues you about all of this? I mean,
the fact that there are so many people waiting for immigration reform that's not happening. The fact that there are so many people that are here in the United States just waiting to see what is going to happen with their families. None of that is happening. It's just back and forth, and no one's there to do the job that their constituents sent them to do. And I think that that's what's most fatiguing about this. We have, in the eyes of the rest of the world, have become this country that just goes and attacks each other, when we really should. There are so many people that want to see us harmed. We really should be trying to do everything we can to bind together as Americans to make sure we take care of our problems.
So what is your visceral response to hearing what the president tweeted today?
I don't like any of it. I mean, I've always called him out on tweets. I think that he has to be more presidential. Everyone is tired of not being a representative of everyone in this country. And when you are the president of the United States, you represent all Americans, even those that you don't like very much. So I think, you know, everyone's tired of it. I've called him out on several tweets. I think that we need to continue to call them out. But I also think that we need to hold all members of Congress also responsible. I always tell my kids, take the high road. And I'm telling everybody else to do the same thing. I'm telling all of the representatives in Congress, take the high road.
Okay, but well before, you know, the exchange of words between, you know, the Squad, Nancy Pelosi, interpretation of that, the president, you know, seizing on that and then turning it to this, there has been a pattern of the president, particularly being less than glowing about women of color in particular, you know, questioning the patriotism of women. You know, I mean, we could go on the list, you know, Frederica Wilson, Maxine Waters. In fact, this is what the president has said in the past, if you need reminding about Maxine Waters.
And Maxine Waters, a very low IQ individual. You ever see her? You ever see her? We will impeach him. We will impeach the president. But he hasn't done anything wrong. It doesn't matter. We will impeach him. She's a low IQ individual. You can't help it. She really is.
So I mean, essentially, there is a pattern. So I mean, yes, there's the tit for tat, but I mean, you know, back to the whole schoolyard thing of like, you know, he started it. You know what I mean? Who started this? Where does this?
I know.
Where do you go with this? And then how do you continue to lead a country? And you are a figure, or there are figures in leadership who are to be unifiers, and then it's reduced to this kind of, you know, spur of the moment tweeting about what you're really thinking and feeling about people.
Look, no one's making excuses, and certainly we have to continue to hold the president responsible for the things that he says and what he does. I absolutely agree with that. But at some point, again, I've got 3 children that are watching adults behave poorly, and then we go out and we tell people, hey, these kids shouldn't be bullying each other. They shouldn't be doing the things that they're doing that's causing all sorts of suicides in schools, and yet members of Congress and the president of the United States aren't the best example. So all I'm saying is stop, take the high road. You're not there as a member of Congress to criticize, to go after, I mean, people go after their own party, they go after people outside of their party. Get something done at least. Do something that you can say, you know what, I was a member of Congress and I got this done. I was able to champion this. I mean, then you'll be able to at least make us proud as Americans. I think this whole thing has to stop. And that's including the president. I'm not making any excuses for him. It has to stop. I always feel like I'm not part of the America First that he goes out and he talks about all the time. And I think that these are the reasons for that feeling of not being part of the America that he sees. And I'm an American. I've always been an American, and I've been a Republican longer than he has. So I think that that's the problem, is most people don't feel like they're part of this America that he talks about. And these are the reasons for that.
All right, Mia Love, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.